everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So this video gonna be so excited and interesting as we have a very special guest with us who is currently a software engineer in Google, and we're gonna dig some extra things through which we can get some more intuition, like is CP helpful, and is DSA helpful, and what actual things we need to be in Google and such MNCs. So without further ado, let's get started.
I am a software engineer in Google YouTube. I work at the Google YouTube's headquarter building in San Bruno, which is located in San Francisco, California. And I've been working here since 3 years now. And before that, I used to work in Charter Communications in Colorado, Denver, which was also a tech company. It was a video tech company that had set-top boxes and provided internet services in the Midwest region. Used to work there for a year. Before that, I used to work at my school where I did my master's as an infrastructure engineer, and I think I worked there for around 1.5 year before I came to the US, which is also where I did my master's, is located in San Francisco. And before that, I did my undergrad from Mumbai University and in computer science. And yeah, I think that was pretty much my journey from Mumbai to San Francisco.
For your introduction. So I was about to ask this question that please share your journey from a tier 3 college to Google and what experience you had in industries before joining Google.
I just worked in Charter Communications, and then in India, I don't think the experiences from India they count. So
Yeah.
just the experiences in the US and masters is enough.
Oh, okay. Okay. So like way back in India or in America, how was your first placement experience was? Like
For me, it was quite easy because I got an IT job which was very much related to my masters, or had a job requirement that was pretty much close enough to what I was doing, which was my master's in IT management in the US. Um, and I got the infrastructure engineer in my position in my college itself. So that was pretty much a Kickstarter, you can say, for my journey in the US.
so
Apart from that, most of the people have to go around with thousands of job interviews in the US before getting like a good job, or even unpaid job in the US.
so way back in India you didn't like you haven't done any job before coming to
I
USA.
did it, but yeah, I didn't say it because it wasn't relevant to what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
First company that I worked was Emphasis, which is an HP company. It was also located in Mumbai.
Okay.
It was close to my place where I did my undergrad. And the second company was a small startup company. I think most of you guys might have heard about Tiny Owl.
Yeah.
It got closed. It was a food delivery app, an early app which was introduced by some IITians, and it got closed pretty soon after I left. But yeah, it was a great experience there as well. But yeah, but those two companies, the experiences wouldn't matter a lot, because the things that you learn over here are different in your masters. Whatever you learn over here are very much applied to the region from where you have done your masters. So it's not a thing that you need to do something extra from
Yeah.
India, and you get something else from here, and you show that experience, and it might help. It could help a little, but not too much. All your struggle and everything counts over here, and you'll have to make out uh, of the life and everything that goes on over here differently. You can't compare it with.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah. So, you had many experience in industry, and before joining Google, so what strategies you actually followed, and what actually it takes to be in Google? Like many of the people like me want to know this.
So one small advice you can say that I can give from my side is that you can never aim for a company that you are planning to work for. I had that in mind, but I never aimed for working at Google. The first time before going to Charter Communications, which was my last company, I also interviewed at Google, but the position got on hold, and it took more than 2 or 3 months for it to reopen and get in more information and things about that role. But the thing is, you need to be patient, and you need to go around hunting for different jobs. You don't need to stick around with one company and like have that in your mind and just work for it, because it will never happen. This particular dream job got me only when I got an experience, and the channel that I took was
So the sayings like never stick to one job. So this also implies on Google also. Like, yeah.
you can try to focus on your career. Whatever you feel like doing is important to you. If you feel like um, an industry inspires you, like video industry in my case, it inspired me, and I thought that YouTube would be a company that is like would be a dream job for me. I tried working in different other sectors and companies which were related,
Yeah, yeah.
and I had that in mind, but not clearly that
Yeah,
this
yeah.
will end up getting me a job in YouTube. So I had in mind that infrastructure job that I did in my college, where I did my masters over here. I got the experience of video editing and those kind of stuffs, and got an exposure of how the networks and everything works. And then when I landed up in Charter Communications, which is also an internet and
Yeah.
set-top box TV
Uh-huh.
provider company,
Yeah,
a bigger company and an older company than YouTube, but
yeah.
people don't know it because it's a company which is well settled in Midwest and uh, east part of US. So the thing is, I just got into these companies and got a very niche kind of an exposure, which according to YouTube was a very good experience, and they didn't ask me a lot of questions, but I got lucky enough to have that experiences,
Yeah.
and they were lucky
Uh-huh.
to get me or a person which had this kind of a journey.
And also, we are also so lucky to have you today on our video.
Thank you. Yeah,
So
that's
yeah,
my
yeah. So this leads to my next question. So what type of work culture does Google provides, and what difference you experience between your past company and Google?
um, in simple terms. If I say Google, working at Google is like working at a government job in India. It's more like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Like it's very similar to that. So you get to learn about a lot more things than you would from outside.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're working in a government job, you will, like, you might have seen a lot of series and everything where you might have seen that people working inside the government know a lot more than what any other person might
Yeah, of
Yeah,
really
of
course.
know.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we have access to most of the things. And it is very easy for us to work over here because there is no deadline and everything is owned by the company itself. So we don't have much deadlines and pressure on to us every time.
Yeah, because nowadays it's kind of hyped of five companies, Fang, like big companies like Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, and these types of companies are kind of hyped that because of their work culture, the paying they pay to their employees and like many things. So in India, it's kind of hyped a lot. So what do you think about
So
it?
if you consider the hype and other things that you said about these companies located in the Bay Area, which where I am right now,
Yeah.
San Francisco, which is the hub for these companies. Many of these companies originated from here and they expanded throughout the world. Silicon Valley, for instance, I live in Silicon Valley. It takes like right now I'm at my friend's place, which is in San Francisco downtown, but it takes almost an hour to drive back to my home, which is in Silicon Valley right now. So in Silicon Valley, you have all the companies which are well established: Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, and whatnot. Apple, the headquarters and everything is over there. Google
Silicon
headquarters
Valley,
in Mountain
yeah.
View. So everything is over here. If you search and just go outside, you will see like all the established companies and the silicon chip companies that were like working since you might have not even known about chips, Intel and these companies. But these
Yeah.
companies have a very strict work culture as well. So you
Okay,
can
yeah.
never expect, like Cisco, for instance. I was just talking to some of like random people which I met at my building, and they were from Cisco.
Yeah.
One was from Cisco, one was from Samsung, and one was from Oracle. But they all met at Cisco, and he was telling me that Cisco has such strict and uh, the work
The
culture
Working
over
hours.
there
Yeah.
has so much of stress in it that
Yeah.
people usually leave the company after they join in like six months or so.
Yeah, in India also, like some of the companies are like this only. Like they want employees to work from 9 to 5, and they are running them like a bull. Okay, but the same case is not with Google or any big MNCs or any product-based companies. Like they want, like
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. I'm just
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
okay,
on
okay,
it's
that.
okay.
totally
That is
fine. Yeah,
that's there in most of the companies like Apple, and these are very competitive companies like um, Facebook, Apple. These are
okay,
customer oriented people, like companies which have their products in the market. If they don't meet the deadlines and have like a strict deadline that the employees need to meet in September every year. So for
okay.
Google, there is nothing that we are striving on. We are not making or building one particular thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like Google's main revenue and everything comes from ads and other stuff. So if I might also ask you, like, what do you think Google gets their money from? So you might say search engine could be more other things like their phones or other services, but no, main
Revenue
revenue
comes
comes
from
from
income
ad.
ad.
sources are, yeah, it's from ads.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So those things, and then AI and the things they work on with other partners, those are the main things that they get their revenue.
Source
source
of
of
income.
income.
Yeah.
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 Like,
Like yeah, like today also in morning I was seeing a post where it was there that even in Google Maps also they earn money. We don't pay anything for just searching anything. So if you are searching for any burger or something like that, so on the top preference, if McDonald's appear, so McDonald's just pay Google for that appearance. So that's kind of how Google
Yeah,
earns.
if you even
yeah.
Yeah.
search, you might see like first three top posts would be ads.
Yes,
Yes,
You
yes,
yes,
might have
yes,
noticed it, but
yes.
yes.
never might have you have to scroll a little down,
Yeah.
and then those are the
Yes,
top
yes,
links.
yes,
The first two or
yes.
three links are usually the ads.
Okay.
If you click
So
on that,
now
Yeah,
those
let's do
companies
this
might get a
real
hit
work for
from you,
what we
and
are
then
here.
they
Like
might get
most of
earned.
the students are watching this and they really want to know that how much time one should give to DSA. Like by DSA, I mean data section and algorithm. And like how much time one should give to DSA to get into Google, and like what role actually DSA plays in placements.
Uh, you need to learn a lot about DSA and like I don't know if this is okay, but Python language and these kind of languages you should learn because you have to have
Yeah.
that knowledge, which is right now booming, and these companies are
Yeah.
eager to get people from
yeah,
uh, kind of sectors.
Yeah.
And just like English is ought to be known if you are coming to the US. Same way, I think right now the structure is that every company
yeah,
wants you to at least know Python and other related other related languages, which obviously like gives you an upper hand into getting into these companies. But yeah, this these languages are like just a starter kit. um, Obviously you might have a lot more languages that you can learn that just adds on to your profile.
So like, and also like many students think that after doing DSA, after doing development part, like doing projects on machine learning and different technologies, they like feel they will be rejected by company because of their grades. So like this leads to my next question, that this type of questions always arises in students mind, that does grade really matters for a fresher to get into Google or such MNCs?
No, you just maintain a 3.7 GPA or something which is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
consistent. You just need to get an A in all the courses that you are doing, or wherever you are getting your
Yeah.
degrees from. And it really matters on what knowledge you have, the clarity in whatever
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are speaking, the basis of everything that you are telling to the interviewer. That's the only thing that they will judge you on. Grade is never and will never be a judgment factor for any
Okay.
companies. It will just be a filter to get you through and get you inside the job, just to get the interview running. But it will never judge you into getting the job. So grades are
just a
just like
numbers.
starter pad.
Yeah,
You can just have a normal 3.7 GPA
yeah,
and not worry about that in the interview, that you are something you having low grade, and it will be just
Like
like
unless
yeah.
you
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
continue.
Continue.
yeah, go ahead.
No, you
No,
go
you
ahead.
go ahead.
I'll
I'll then
speak.
speak.
So unless I don't think you if you are going into a very
So guys, as Nadeem sir is saying that you should have 3.7 GPA. So it doesn't mean that you should score less marks, because when we'll convert GPA in CGPA or SGPA, it will go around like 80 to 90% in CGPA or SGPA. Okay, so don't get
yes.
get anything wrong from his side. Okay, so yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
correct. 90% is good enough. You, if it falls below that as well, it's fine. Few of the companies, most of the companies are okay with it. But if you are aiming for to go in some of the selected big companies, then they might have this issue.
Okay. So I wanna ask that do you think CP, which is nowadays kind of hyped, okay, it is beneficial for cracking any kind of interview of big MNCs?
No, no, I don't think so. It's more of like it's good for you to understand things.
Yeah.
just like the classes that you might have heard about while you guys were young. That's pretty much it. What it wants from you to understand the concepts, and it just helps you grow, not the company. I don't think any company has those criterias, or they look into that pretty. Yeah, I don't think it helps a lot.
So yeah, so many of the students who think that doing CP day and night, making stars on platforms such as CodeChef and Hacker Earth, it won't lead you to any big MNCs until or unless your basics are not clear and you're not good in DSA part. So start doing DSA from now onwards, and just Google is waiting for you. So yeah, so. I want you to guide our audience, like how to apply to Google as a fresher, and also how did you manage for interview preparation along with your job and office work. Okay.
Um, for Google or any other MNC in US, I think you should have your basics cleared out first. Secondly, go on to getting your resumes and everything corrected
Yeah,
first.
yeah, yeah,
Don't give them any chance of
yeah,
laughing at your resume while they are reviewing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So skim through it, scan it, try to go over it again and again. Try to read it and see if it makes sense. Just don't uh, send someone a resume because
yeah,
they want it, but because you want them to see yourself as perfect
Yeah.
as you can. Imagine yourself giving something which is very near and dear to you, and it describes you. And then if you are giving it to someone else, imagine that it should be perfect from your side. Um, have all the criteria strict. Don't leave any pages unturned. Don't leave any languages that the companies are trying to see, or if they are trying to look for those
yeah,
added languages, just see that you include those languages and whatever you think is better in that job profile. Try to get those things in your resumes, and mostly
yeah,
have every story that you know
yeah.
about those lines that you put in the resume corrected, and have stories ready for them. Like if you put one liner for just Python,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just make sure you have something from your either past.
Like
Like,
sorry to interrupt you in between. Yeah, like if you are making like if you have mentioned, and guys, so listen carefully, like if you have mentioned any project in resume, so just be prepared, because in interview session, HR will always gonna ask you that question, that how you made that project and how proficient you are in a particular language in which you want to apply in a company. Am
am
I
I
right?
right?
Yes, like
Yeah,
have the stories and the background check for them.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just don't try to make up something on the spot, because it will end up getting a bad impression, and
yeah,
Yeah,
of
of course.
course.
something that you are not planning to
Yeah.
Yeah.
tell someone, and it might go wrong.
So
So,
yeah, I totally agree with you, cause false thing. If you mention false things in our resume, definitely one day we gonna caught. Okay, like how long we can show false things.
Yes, like
Yeah,
have the stories and the background check for them.
yeah.
yeah,
Just don't try to make up something on the spot, because it will end up getting a bad impression, and
Yeah,
yeah,
of
of
course.
course.
something that you are not planning to
Yeah.
Yeah.
tell someone, and it might go wrong.
So
So,
totally agree with you, cause false thing. If you mention false things in our resume, definitely one day we gonna caught. Okay, like how
Have
long we
show
can
false
If
things.
you
show
have a
false things.
backstory for it, if you understand the things, it's okay
Yeah.
if you have
Yeah,
something false. But if you know things about that, like if you
Yeah.
have stories
Yeah.
behind that, and you know how it works, then it's not false. You have some information about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like one of the friend of mine, he is currently in Amazon. So what he did actually, he took a project from GitHub and he mentioned it on his resume. Okay, and like fortunately he got selected for interview. And when the interviewer asked him about the project, he was knowing that this particular project will be gonna asked on interview day. Okay, so he prepared everything about that project over a night. Just over a night he prepared everything about that project, and he cleared that interview, and he is now working in Amazon.
Yeah, so it just that just means
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
need to have something in mind. If you don't, if you have not worked on it, still you have worked on it a night before the interview, right? So that also counts. You haven't worked for
Yeah.
years on it, but still you have knowledge about it. And if you understand that in a night, that also is an experience.
Yeah, like while you are struggling, every seconds matters.
Yeah, knowledge never goes
Yeah.
around, and then it always comes around. You can use it anytime if you have that in mind. You have watched it overnight or just before the interview as well.
Yeah.
If you have glanced over it, that also works because the interviewer and everyone would just want you to know the basics, and they just are expecting that you know about things what they are trying to tell. So
Yeah,
that counts.
of course, I totally agree with you. And so I wanna know that what kind of languages and frameworks Google usually prefer. Like what kind of language they want to work in, and like how many language one should prefer to learn while learning to get into any big MNCs. Okay, so like we should learn a single language, like we should be proficient in Python, or we should also learn some HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Ruby on Rails, and there are such languages which are getting hyped nowadays. So we should learn all of them, or like 3, 4, or 5 languages, or just be proficient in one.
You can just be proficient in
Okay.
one, like
Okay.
you can just go for Python, and then the basics over here is get your the, the algorithms and whatever the logics goes into the these languages. Just get those basics cleared out. You don't need to learn all the languages. It's pretty much easy to learn anything after you understand the
Yeah.
logic. You can go over those languages after you select a company or you have something in mind.
Yeah.
If you just go on learning all the languages, you'll end up getting confused and you'll end up learning everything but know nothing about one particular thing. And if you, when you're going into an interview, you'll just get confused
Okay.
about it. Particular thing, and if you, when you're going into an interview, you'll just get confused about it. So just be focused on one thing, and you can then focus on different other languages depending on the interview or wherever you're going from there.